Hey y'all, it's Ryan Pledger here with Infinite Hunt Outdoors, and we are excited to show you a bow review and the bow I decided to use for this coming 2024 season. And so kind of give you a little bit of history. So I purchased a bow back 4 years ago, first bow ever, just started bow hunting, and on Craigslist, Matthews Z3, mint condition, paid like 500 bucks for it. Great deal. Got into bow hunting, had a lot of kinks to work out, never shot a compound bow before, and so learned a lot. Kind of went first deer on the ground, 15 yards with that bow, and then the next 2 years up in a tree with a bow, and great hunts, and loved it. Last year had some issues mid-rut with realizing that my bow, from all the moving around and hunting and stuff that I had done, it kind of got out of sight a little bit, and the tuning was off, and so I had to retune it. In that, the thought came to mind, what if something happens to my bow mid-season and I can't get it fixed because no one has the availability to work on it, being that they're pretty busy during that time of the year. So my mind started rolling, started saying I need to get a secondary bow or a primary bow and use that Matthews Z3 as my secondary. So started looking around, what are some different options, what are some things that I like. And honestly, I didn't even go out and shoot a ton of bows because I don't know what I like. New bow hunter, don't really know what I like, don't know ins and outs of bow hunting, how to dial things in, the tuning process, all that stuff's new to me. And so I honestly went to people that have proven themselves, people that have hunted for a long time, and said, what is your preference for a bow? And got a lot of different preferences. I honestly, a couple of our guys use the Bear Adapt THP model, and they use it, they like it. So I thought, you know, push comes to shove, I'll just grab one of those, use it as my primary, use the Z3, Matthews Z3 as my secondary, and we'll just go. And the more I started looking at different bows, obviously there's other bows that kind of were enticing and different things. So I got talking to a couple different people and kind of went down between the Bear, a Matthews, and a Prime. Knew nothing about Prime bows, didn't understand them, didn't know really anything about them, but I heard a lot of good about them. Heard a couple different guys there. If I drop names with some of these guys, you would know them, and they said that's what they were shooting. They said they love it, is the best upgrade that they've made. So all those different things. So I just kind of kept thinking about it, and eventually I talked to Joe Miles at Asio Gear and talked to him. He said that he went from a Matthews to a Prime and loved the Prime, still shoots the Matthews, but his Prime became the Prime RVX became his primary bow, no pun intended, primary bow for hunting whitetail. And so started looking at them, never shot one, looked at them, saw the price point. They also offer it an Asio Camo, the Raptor pattern, so that was a plus. And so I decided to say, hey, let's just bite the bullet. This is the bow I want. Never shot it before. Double cam bow. My Matthews was the single cam. Never shot one before. Just decided that I trust the guys, all the guys I've talked to that really like this bow. I trust their take on it, their experience with it. And so let's just do it. And bought the bow, got it in the Asio Camo, got it in, started shooting it, and I have absolutely fell in love with this bow. And it is smooth, it's a complete difference. A lot more tuning went into it, being that it's a double cam bow, but it has been absolutely worth it. I'm excited to shoot it this year. So we're gonna talk about the bow. It's the Prime RVX, and in the Raptor Camo, as you can see there in the video. We'll show you some other videos of me shooting it, but it's in the Raptor Camo. Show you a little bit about this bow and what I like about it. And so we'll go ahead and get into it. Prime RVX, the 32-inch axle to axle, 32-inch bow. It has 2 limbs, top and bottom. This bow here can go out to 70 pounds. You can get different limbs that can go up to 80. This bow goes out to 70. I'll give you my specs on my draw weight, length, everything with the bow, and we'll go over a lot of different stuff. So I got the floating peep sight on it there, and then of course the D-loop here, and got it stationary for the nocks that I'm using to make sure they stay snug when I'm shooting. This bow here is set at 29-inch draw length. That is my draw length. It's set at 65 pounds, and everything is timed, everything is tuned on it, and just a spectacular bow. There on the back wall, when I draw back, the back wall is like 9 pounds, and I can hold it for a long time compared to my other bow. There shoots really fast, shoots at about 279 with the arrow weight setup I'm shooting, and at 65 pounds is shooting 279 is the speed on the arrow coming out. There, obviously, the specs they have online is up to certain specs. It's at 70 pounds, at this draw length, at this bow, and all that. So that really is not reality until you set it up to yourself and see what it's shooting. Shooting a lot faster than my other bow, only shot like 230 something, 232. So this is shooting 279. So shooting a lot faster than my other bow. Some of the things on accessories on it. By the way, shoots really lightweight, a really lightweight bow. I believe it's like 4 pounds there without all the accessories on. I believe it's like 4 pounds there. But to go over kind of the accessories on this, I just have a cheap stabilizer put on the front. I really shot really good with the stabilizer. I did want a wrist thing there for the handle, and so I went ahead and just put a cheap stabilizer on it, and so that's kind of all I have for that. For the sight, I am using a 4-pin Trophy Ridge sight, adjustable sight, and so it is just a regular Trophy Ridge pin sight there, four pins. I'm using the Quad Ultra Rest LD, the lockdown. I was having an issue with one of my other one, and it was bouncing up and hitting the fletchings. And so I went in and switched to the lockdown, which means when it hits, it's going to lock down. It's not going to pop up, hit the fletchings, and cause weird arrow flight. And so I went in and went with that. That has been shooting really good. That's the Quad Ultra Rest LD, the lockdown. LD stands for lockdown. I have the Trophy Ridge, just the regular Trophy Ridge quiver, and just kind of locks down, very easy, just kind of sits at the top right there, locks into place, and there's a lock right here where you push that down and it locks into place. And so that is it has a light on the top and has a light underneath also, and use that kind of going in and out of the woods there. And so that is my quiver setup for this here. Just the Trophy Ridge does have a loop on the top there, and so that is really nice going in the woods. You know, when I'm up in the tree, I can just hang it and don't have to worry about trying to strap it to a tree or anything. And so that is my my Prime setup. And again, love the bow, very pleased with it, excited to shoot a deer with it this year and kind of get in there. So let's go over our arrow setup. I am shooting a total, I'll go over the total weight here in a minute, but I'm shooting the VAP TKOs, and these are the 166 diameter. So I'm shooting those there, just have regular AAE max fletchings on them, and just have these refletched ready for the season. I do have a lighted knock in there. I cannot remember the lighted knock name. It does have a little slide button on the side, so instead of having that tool on the nocturnals, this one has a button you just slide, and these came with 3 lighted knocks, a practice knock, so 4 knocks total, and it was like 26 bucks. And they're awesome. I have it in the red there. And then I have an outsert, 50 grain outsert, and then a 125 grain practice tip and a 125 grain broadhead. And so my total arrow weight is 460, and that is the heaviest arrow I've ever had. And honestly, I'm pleased with it. It's shooting great, and I think honestly I'm gonna stick with this for a while. And so that's my total arrow weight is 460 grains with that, and it's really balanced. It's a really balanced arrow and shoots really well there out of this Prime. And so my my broadhead that I'm shooting this year is the Tooth of the Arrow broadhead, 4-blade, full blade broadhead, and I'm really excited about that. It's going to be a really nice, going to punch a hole right there through whatever deer I'm shooting. They're shooting great. They're shooting just as good as my field points. So that's a 125 grain broadhead. And then I'm shooting just the wrist release. It is the True Fire wrist release. That's all I'm shooting there. Just very simple wrist release there. I'm thinking about going to a thumb release, but haven't made that jump yet. And there's really no reason why to until I get down the road and get better at what I'm doing. So that is my Prime bow setup, and hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please make sure that you drop them in the comments below. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions about the bow, you know, if we don't know the answer, we'll get the answer for you and get it to you there. But that is the Prime RVX 32-inch bow, and hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and follow us. We have a lot more videos coming up, and so you'll want to stay tuned for that there. Thank you for following and supporting us, and Prime RVX. Let's get to this season. Season's ready. Let's go, and we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.